Hi, it's Nick on November the 10th with the 5th episode of this week's theme about the magic of creativity. And I think something that many of us could really benefit from understanding is that to release the magic of creativity, we are also going to need to understand, be aware of, and learn how to handle our resistance. I think before I started kind of really recovering, when I was in my younger days, I used to think that my fear and my resistance and my insecurities were personal character defects. It was only me that had them. And it's only as I've matured and grown and, opened up and talked to more and more people that I realise this is universal territory that we all stand on. The way I've come to think of it is that when we're truly inspired by the muse, by whatever we believe in, but when we're in touch with that sense of inspiration from our own soul, we can be pretty sure that not far away is going to be some resistance. Sometimes they're like, thunder and lightning. We get the lightning of inspiration, and then within seconds we get the thunderbolt of resistance. We get the self-attack, we get the self-judgment, we get the self-doubt, we procrastinate, we go off in different directions. We all have our own kind of ways, our own flavours of resistance. But the bottom line is we get inspired, we're clear, and then we talk ourselves out of it. Sometimes that happens within seconds, sometimes within minutes, sometimes it's a more gradual process for each of us. It happens over days, weeks, months. But we kind of get to that place where we've kind of talked ourselves out of the inspired idea that we're on Earth to bring into existence here. So I think it's really important that we understand that we all go through this to some degree. I've met very few people, if any, that claim to be resistance free. And to be honest, the ones that did claim to be resistance free, if I'm honest, I would say are probably in denial of their own resistance. So my experience when people are really honest with me is that everybody feels some fear, everybody feels some doubt, some insecurity, and we all procrastinate and distract and hold ourselves back. That's the bottom line. To unleash the magic of creativity, we need to understand that we're going to have to get through our own resistance, and that's when the magic happens, is when we have the courage to encounter and move through and get to the other side of our resistance. Sometimes we can do that in a heartbeat, sometimes it feels like it's a more, kind of short-term, medium-term project. It's like, this is going to take me a bit of time to work through. Some of my resistance seems to have taken me years, if not a whole lifetime, to get through. Obviously I've got through a lot of it because I show up and do all this stuff. I've written 14 books and I do amazing things, so I know I've got past a lot of my own resistance, and I know I still have a lot of it. There's resistance I still need to handle that, once I handle it, I know my life's going to expand even more, or as I'm handling, my life is expanding even more. So that's the essence of today's idea. There's nothing wrong with you for having resistance. And here's the key to understanding resistance, and this is the bit when I really understood it, it was kind of liberating. And the bit is, the more important a project or an action is to you and your soul's evolution, actually the more likely you are to experience resistance to it. And often the greater the resistance, the greater the gift and potential for success, creative success that's behind this resistance. So it's almost like if you have enormous resistance, because there is something big there to resist. So you can actually begin to use resistance as a bit of a pointer. So that's the heart of what I'm getting at today. So I hope that's helpful, a useful insight that will help you navigate your own creativity. God bless, have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.